Hello everybody. So today we're going to continue our review of chapter 11 to practice for our test. And so let's start with number 1. We're on page 463. An angle represents 1/12 of a circle. Use the numbers to show how to find the measure of the angle in degrees. So you will remember that we have to multiply 12 by some factor to get 360. Well, we said that let's think of 12 times 3 as being 36. But we want 36 tens, or 360. So we want 12 times 30. So if we multiply the numerator and denominator of 1/12 by 30 over 30, we'd get 30 over 360. So the angle measure is 30 degrees. All right, number 2. Match the measure of each angle C with the measure of angle D that forms a straight angle. So remember that straight angles have to be 180 degrees. So we're going to add something in column C with something in column D to equal 180. So 180 take away 122. 58 degrees. All right, so those two are add up to 180. 35. 180 take away 35. 145. 62 taken from 180. 118 degrees. And 180 take away 105. 75 degrees. Okay. And so the only one we didn't use was 55 degrees. All right, number 3. Katie drew an obtuse angle. Which could be the measure of the angle she drew? So an obtuse angle, by definition, is greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. So it's not A. B would work. C will not work. D will work. It's greater than 90 and less than 180. 180 won't work because that's a straight angle. Draw an angle that represents a quarter turn counterclockwise on the circle. Okay, so the first thing we need to know is that the angle is going to open that way. That's counterclockwise. So let's finish this off. Let's put it at, set it at 0, and then find 90 degrees. You're right there. All right, so that's 90 degrees. Number 5. Renee drew the figure shown for 5A through 5C. Select yes or no to tell whether the statement is true. The measure of a straight angle is 180 degrees. That's true. That's just a definition. To find the measure of x, Renee can subtract 75 from 180. Yes, that's true too. The measure of x is 115. Well, I don't think so. Nope, it's 105. So no. Number 6. Trey drew this figure with a protractor. All right. Write an equation that can be used to find the measure of angle KFG. Okay. The measure of KFG plus the measure of KFJ plus the measure of angle EFJ equals 180 degrees. So we'll let x equal KFG plus 80 plus 55 equals 180. All right, so that's the equation I can use to find it. So what is the measure of KFG? Well, x plus 80 plus 55 equals 180. X plus 135. 5 plus nothing is 5. 8 tens and 5 tenths is 13 tenths. Okay, subtract 135 from 180. We'll get 45 degrees. So the measure of angle KFG equals 45 degrees. The measure of angle KFG equals 45 degrees. Describe how you solve the equation. I added the two known measures, known angles, and subtracted from 180. We get the measure of angle KFG. All right, and it says how you can check your answer. Well, to check, we would just add the three angles. 45 plus 80 plus 55 should give me 180. 45 plus 55 plus 80. 45 plus 55 is 100. 100 plus 80 equals 180. That's my work for checking it. Use a protractor to find the measure of the angle. The angle measures. Okay, well, just by looking at it, is less than a 90-degree angle. It's an acute angle. Put your center point on the vertex. Line up this ray with 0. So we're going to use this side of the scale. Remember, if you have problems seeing it clearly, oops, extend the line out. Okay. Now it looks like a 40-degree angle. All right, number 8. Alex drew this angle on the circle, which describes the angle. So it's going this way, which will be in the direction of a clock, so clockwise. It's a straight angle, so that's half a turn. Miles has a piece of paper that is 1/4 of a large circle. He cuts the paper into 3 equal parts. What is the angle measure of each part? Okay, so a quarter turn, remember, is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, well, 3 equal parts. Take 90 and divide by 3. We'd get 30 degrees each. Number 10, use a protractor to find the measure of each angle. Write each angle and its measure in a box ordered by the measure of the angles from least to greatest. Okay, so we're going to write the measures in here first before we write them in the box, because we have to put them in here, least to greatest. All right, let's do B. Doesn't matter which one you start with. Center point on 0, on the vertex. Line up 0. I'm going to be using the outside of the protractor. Before I do that, I want to extend my lines out so I can see it easily cross the protractor. We'll extend them all while we're at it. All right, so B again. All right, so line up the vertex with the center point, line up the ray with 0, and see where it crosses the line. It crosses at 100 degrees. Okay, make sure you read the right side of the protractor. C. Okay, again, line up the center point, line up your ray with 0. I'm using this side as 0, so I'm going to use the inside and see where it crosses. And it looks like it crosses at 120 degrees. Now, this is a circle, so the whole thing should add up to 360. Right now I have 240. I'm thinking this is also a 120 degree, I'm sorry, a 140 degree angle. So I'm going to put my protractor on 0, center point on the vertex, line up the 0. I'm going to use this as the 0. I got to see where it crosses the line. It crosses at 140. Okay, so least to greatest. So angle B is the least. It measures 100 degrees. Angle C is next at 120 degrees. And angle A is the greatest at 140 degrees. All right, number 11. Use the numbers and symbols to write an equation that can be used to find the measure of the unknown angle. Well, we know that's going to be x plus 33 plus 90 equals a straight angle, which is 180. Okay, these three angles added together form that straight angle. So let's do some math here. 3 plus 0 is 3. 3 and 9/10 is 12/10. So we have x plus 123 equals 180. Subtract 123 from 180, we get 57. Use the numbers and symbols. So what did we use? We used 33, we used 90, we used plus, we used equal, we used the symbol x, and we said it was equal to 180. Okay, page 466, number 12. Choose the word or number to complete a true statement about angle JKL. Angle JKL. Okay, well, that's an obtuse angle. And its angle is, so it can't be 60 degrees. It's got to be 120 or 135. So line it up with 0. Make sure you're reading on the correct side. Okay, this is my 0 side. The ray is pointing that way. So there's 0 right there. And it's going to cross at 120. Vince began practicing piano at 5:15 p.m. He stopped at 5:35 p.m. How many degrees did the minute hand turn during Vince's practice time? Explain how you found your answer. Okay, so it started at 5:15 and ended at 5:35. So 5, 10, 15, 20. 4 sets of 1/12. How do I know it's 4 sets of 1/12? Because every 5 minutes on the clock is 1/12. Now you can't use a protractor, just measure that, okay? But 4/12 times something equals 360. And by now we know that 12 times 30 is 360. So 4 times 30 is 120. So the hand turned 120 degrees. Every 5 minutes is 1/12. So 4 sets of 1/12 is 4/12. 4/12 times 30 over 30 is 120 over 360. So 120 degrees. 14. An angle measures 125 degrees. Through what fraction of a circle does the angle turn? Well, the total number of equal parts in a circle is 360. It's gone 125. So it's a fraction, 125 out of 360. Write the letter for each angle measure in the correct box. All right. We have 4 choices: acute, obtuse, right, and straight. 125 degrees. Well, that's greater than 90, but less than 180. So that's an obtuse angle. So A. 90 degrees. That's a right angle. 180. That's a straight angle. 30 degrees. That's less than 90, but greater than 0. So it's an acute angle. So is 45. 95. That's greater than a right angle. It's greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180. So it is an obtuse angle. Okay, page 467, number 16. For numbers 16a through 16b, select the fraction that makes a true statement about the figure. Okay, so initially this was 0. We had basically 2 rays sitting on top of each other. It slowly starts to turn all the way around and stop right there. Okay, well, that's 3/4 of a turn. Okay, this one's easy. If it started here, it could start here or there, but no matter what, it's a half turn. Melanie cuts a rectangle out of a piece of scrap paper as shown. She wants to calculate the angle measure of the piece that is left over. All right, so the measure of angle RSN, RSN is 126 degrees. The measure of angle RST is 90 degrees. RST is 90. So the difference between these two tells me X. So draw a bar model to represent the problem. So we know that X, the unknown angle, plus 90 has to give me 126. So what's the equation? Well, it's going to be X plus 90 equals 126. 126, take away 90, leaves me 36 degrees. All right. 468. Last three for chapter 11. Two angles, A and B, form a right angle. Measure angle A measures 32 degrees. For 18A through 18C, select true or false. Angle B is an acute angle. Well, let's find out. 90 degrees minus 32, because it's measure angle A plus measure angle B equals 90. A is 32. So we can call B x. 32 plus x is 90. So subtract 32. We get 58. Yes, that's a true statement. The equation 180 minus 32 equals x can be used to find the measure of B. No, because it's not a straight angle, it's at a right angle. A right angle, false. The measure of angle B is 58 degrees. Yep. Okay. 19. A circle is divided into parts, which sum could represent the angle measures that make up the circle. Mark all that apply. So again, the sum of all the angles in any circle has to be 360. 120 plus 120 is 240. 240 plus 240 is 480. So A is not right. Let's see, 25 and 45, that's 65. 105 plus 80 is 185 plus 110. Let's see, 185 plus 65 plus 110. 10, 14, 15, 16, 360. Yes, B works. C. 3 and 2 is 5. 8 and 3 is 11. So 115 plus 161. 50 plus 11 is 61. So 161 plus 84. Okay, let's add those three numbers together. 161 plus 115 plus 84. 5, 6, 10. Regroup. 6, 7, 8. 8 and 8 is 16. 360. Yes, that works. All right, and D. We have 93. 50 and 3 and 40 is 93. 72 and 81 is 153. 90 and 34 is 124. All right, so let's add these three sets of numbers. 120, 153, 124, and 93. 3 and 3 is 6, plus 4 more is 10. 9 and 1 is 10, plus 7 more is 17. So no, that's 370. Okay, so just B and C. And number 20, use a protractor to find the unknown angle measures. Okay, so we need to find this angle and that angle. Okay, so put your protractor on the vertex, the center point on the vertex. I'm going to extend my rays. All right. So this is 0. Okay, so I extended the lines. I put the vertex on the center point on the vertex. Line up the ray with 0. So I'm going to use the outside scale. And it crosses at about 70, 71 degrees. Let's call it 70 degrees. And technically, they form a straight angle. So this has to be 110 degrees. because 180 take away 70 is 110 degrees. What do you notice about the measures of the unknown angles? They add up to 180 degrees because they form a straight angle. Okay, so that's it for chapter 11. Our next unit of study will be relative sizes of measurement units. So until then, may the numbers always be in your favor.